What's up, everybody, and welcome to Stylish Grease Monkey. Today, we're going to talk about the causes of cracked heels, the way to prevent it, and some immediate solutions. Remember that I did this with a purpose. This last week or so, I did not moisturize. So I wanted to show you what happens with this particular problem, and it keeps on coming back. See how dry? That's what happens. It's a problem that keeps on happening because I guess the air that I'm living in is dry. So are you really good about taking care of yourself? You know, I consider myself as really good about taking care of myself from top to bottom. But there's just this one thing that I can't fix for some reason. You know, no matter how much what I do and how much I try to prevent it, eventually, if I just let it go for about a week or two, it comes back. And that is cracked heels. It is even worse when I am wearing sandals or slippers, especially if I'm back home in Hawaii. And, because it's so hot that you always wear just open-toed shoes or open-back shoes. And I think the weather and the environment causes that to happen. And so my heels gets really, really bad. And especially if I don't get to it right away, it gets really, really bad. So like anything else, I wanted to research what causes cracked heels and how I can prevent it. These causes I've gotten from places like healthline.com and some of the medical professionals online. And just by talking to some of the doctors as well. These are the reasons why it is happening. Now, before I go into the reason and the cause of cracked heels, if you have some type of a medical condition that really is causing that, like diabetes or something like that, then you probably need to go see a specialist like a podiatrist to make sure that you're okay with doing some home remedies when it comes to cracked heels. So here are the causes of cracked heels. Now don't get me wrong, these are things that I found while I was researching it online and researching it on places like health.com and medical.com, things like that, right? So these aren't like the actual laundry list, if you would say, but and I know there's more. So if you think that there's more that causes cracked heels, just write it in the comment section below. But these are things that I found that during my research, right? So number one, first and foremost, dry environment and low humidity can cause cracked heels. That's probably the reason why, combined with wearing sandals, open shoes, open back shoes, back in Hawaii, my heels would crack. Calluses would build and eventually a dry skin would crack. So a very cold environment can cause cracked heels as well as wearing the wrong footwear. So if you have shoes that aren't supporting your heels, it's always sliding around, and then you're walking around in them, eventually calluses will build and then the skin becomes very thick, and then combined with very dry weather or maybe very cold weather, eventually crack. Some cracked heels hurt, some don't, but eventually if you let it just be and don't take care of it, it becomes ugly and it becomes painful right at the end of the day. So in addition to all of that, sometimes taking too hot of a shower and then coming out of the hot shower without applying lotion to your feet can cause cracked heels. I know that most women are really good at this. Women take care of their body by applying lotion after every time you take a shower, from top to bottom. Well, men, we just don't care about that too much, right? So, and then you're using harsh soap Another cause of cracked heels, if the soap is too harsh and you're taking a hot shower, you come out, you dry off, you go, and that causes a lot of dry skin eventually. So how can we take care of our feet so that we don't have cracked heels? Well, I believe in prevention, right? Prevention, the daily taking care of your feet will prevent cracked heels eventually. I know some of you probably don't have that problem, but some people do have the problem, and especially if you ignore your feet. All right, so first and foremost, applying thick lotion on the daily is a preventative measure, and that is for sure works. If you are starting to develop thick skin on your heels, or eventually become cracked heels, and if you don't take care of it every day, then there's going to be a long-term problem down the road. Like I said before, some do hurt and some even bleed when the cracked portion of the feet gets way too deep, right? And then it becomes very painful. So at that time, all you can do is medicate it, or you can go find a foot doctor to help you fix your problem. And I think that's kind of gone too far. So before we get to that level, however, other methods such as using honey, vinegar, olive oil, coconut oil, any other home remedies work also, but you have to do some research to make sure you know what you're doing, right? To make sure that you are really doing the right thing for your feet. And lastly, I know paraffin wax works as well. For me personally, I'm going to show you how I take care of my cracked feet at home, right? The first thing that I'm going to do is soak my feet in warm water for about 20-30 minutes, and sometimes I put some vinegar on there because vinegar really fixes a lot of things. It kills the fungus on your feet as well. Not too much, just enough to. So while I'm doing this, I'm probably sitting around on my phone waiting for my calluses to get nice and soft. So right after I got off of the bathtub there, I'm just drying my feet here. Again, this is the first day I'm doing this. So you're going to see the back of my heels it's really, really bad, right? And if you don't have the stomach for this, then don't watch it. But if you do, then watch it all the way, because you're going to learn how I do this. So it doesn't take but a day. It doesn't take a day to do this. You have to probably do it 3 to 7 days, right? You gotta really take your time. You can't do this at one day. I mean, you can, but you'll probably hurt yourself. So slowly work on it. Here I'm using just a file that came with a manicure pedicure set. I felt that it was weak, so I bought another tool from the store that has this, two sides to it, right? One side is like a cheese grater, but not as sharp, but this thing really works, as well as a softer sandpaper in the back. I guess, you rough them up and then you smooth them out, right? Best time to do this is after taking a shower or after soaking your feet for a couple of minutes with vinegar. This tool right here is a blade, right? I don't like it. I'm not comfortable using it. However, desperate means desperate measures, right? So I used it and I started to just kind of use it every day. Every day I would soak my feet, or after taking a shower, I would kind of use this for now. I didn't want to hurt myself. And, eventually though, like the 4th day, as you can see, most of the callus has been removed, but I kept on doing it, so I got hurt. Towards the end of this, I'm going to show you that I went way too deep in one of the area and it actually bled. You can probably see it here towards the middle of my heels right there. It's starting to be raw, but at the time I didn't even notice it until afterwards when it started to bleed and it really hurt. So The skin falls off if you do it nice and just kind of lay it there. Let the blade work for itself. Here's the remnant skin on the carpet. Hey, if you don't have the stomach for this, you can stop watching it now, change the channel. But I just wanted to show you what it removes, the calluses in the skin. I vacuumed it right after. So here I'm showing you the area in which it's bleeding. As you can see, it's just bleeding now. It just continued to bleed for a little while until I was able to stop it. And then of course, because it's tender there now, it hurt for a couple of days. So I continually just kind of wore socks and then put some lotion in my heels so that it doesn't hurt and it's softened. You can use something like this, very specific. It's called a heel-tastic. It's very thick cream or lotion type, and it's very oily. And what it does is make it nice and soft and oily. I wore socks to bed after applying it so that, the oil and that moisture would stay in my heels. And here it's so much better. Night and day difference from the first time that I started about a week ago. Here's the area in which I went a little bit deep, but I had to apply the heel-tastic and it works. Guys, you gotta take care of your feet. I won't let that happen to me again, but I did that because I wanted to show it to you on video. And here's the video. Learn from it. Take care of your feet. Take care of your heels. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself from top to bottom. This is not a one-time procedure. It does take a little while for you to get your feet back to where you want it. Now it's not time to stop doing this. And like I said, this is a problem that's been kind of coming back and forth because the moment I let go and the moment I don't do anything about my heels, then I'm back to square one with it. So it is a prevention thing and you have to do it all the time. All the time meaning every single day. It's like a routine already, right? Like your other grooming routines, your heels should be part of that as well. Hey listen, I hope you learned from this video and I hope I've given you some tips and tricks on how to take care of your cracked feet. I wish you luck, and again, prevention is the key. If you like videos like this, please don't forget to smash the like button. As well, if you're new to my channel, hey, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know every time I upload a video. You stay healthy. I'll talk to you later.